Hey folks, Adrian here at Brotherhood of Tech, just with a quick video about an issue that I had a little while ago where the rendering of certain Microsoft Windows applications such as Microsoft Edge, the Windows Mail, Word, Excel, even the calculator wasn't actually rendering properly. It took me a fair while to figure it out, and there was no information when I searched forums and even contacted Microsoft about it. They didn't seem to really know anything about it. So I'm going to show you first what the problem is, and secondly a few ways to fix it. So here's the first one with Windows Calculator, which is strangely behaving perfectly normally, and I don't know why. This is very odd because this has been playing up. In fact, I tested this over and over again and managed to get it to play up. So let's try this one. Did I? Ah, yes. So this one's rooted. I must have fixed it and forgotten to unfix it for this video. So as you can see, at least with Microsoft Edge here, it's not as bad as what it previously has been, but you can see where some of the textures are getting, well, basically mixed up. At first I thought maybe it was a memory issue, maybe it was my graphics cards. When I disabled SLI, the problem didn't happen. So here we go. So you just saw it for a brief bit, and there we go. Now it's really in full flight. There we go. Alright, it's still not happening over here. But anyway, I'll show you how to fix it with this one, with Edge to start with. So there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can right click, go NVIDIA control panel. You'll see the latest Aussie news right there. And go to program settings. Make sure program, not global, otherwise you're going to mess up a lot of your programs. Find the offending program here. Let's have a look at calculator first. See, and that's why I did not fix that. I did not unfix that. So obviously you have to close that, reopen for that to apply, and now it's all lovely and screwy. So yeah, and to the point, in fact, that once I've messed it up enough, and I try to do some calculations, whenever I hit any of those things that are stuffed up, they're just not going to work. And I even found not putting the mouse over it, so I can't even clear it, not putting the mouse over it still caused the odd problem. When I try to press the individual buttons, you can even see as they highlight up, the odd one plays up a bit. So this is the first way. Go into NVIDIA control panel. You've got a couple of extra little options there. One way, go single GPU. So that stops SLI, but only on that program. So only one card will be used, your primary card, and now it's perfectly fine. So that's what's happening there. Now, there is another way you can fix it, and actually probably a better way in my opinion. Now, Windows 10 uses DirectX 12, which of course is supported by split frame rendering, which is SFR. There was actually, I won't go into the big spiel about it. I'll make a whole video about the differences between the different rendering techniques and how they apply, and some of the history and all that as well. But for the moment, just for argument's sake, let's find the offending program. So we'll go with Microsoft Edge this time. So we've found it. So this is NVIDIA Profile Inspector, and you'll notice there are just a huge amount of options that you can play with. I actually gave a little bit of a demo on that on my previous video. So you can see there it's AFR2, so there's two different types, well technically three different types of alternate frame rendering, of main ways to do it. One, you can go single, but you'll also notice down here SLI rendering mode force SFR, which is split frame rendering. Now in most applications this is going to mess things up massively. Anything that tries to use DirectX 9 or 11 or 10 or anything like that, hopefully you're not using anything with 10, then it's going to mess it up big time because they're just not compatible with it. So let's apply that. However, Windows natively can support that, so it's still playing up because it hasn't reloaded yet. So close down, reopen again, and it's running perfectly fine. Now, you can't really tell if both GPUs are actually being used. Well, there we go. 19% on one, 9% on the other. That's not too bad. So they are both actually being used, but not equally. But you can see little spikes here and there. Obviously, probably why it's rendering all this and this at the same time. But as you can see, it's working perfectly fine. So that is an option. If you have Windows 10 and you're running a card that was made within the last 7 or 8 years, at least anyway, then you can actually enable SFR or Force Single, whichever way you want. Really, either of those is going to work, but you will only get split frame rendering through NVIDIA Profile Inspector at the moment, since they're not actually allowing that through NVIDIA Control Panel right now. This is a third-party program made by this guy. Genius, fantastic. Appreciate his work very much. I've been using this for years. So we'll just leave that on there. So we've fixed both programs now, and you'll find this will work with any of those other ones that I mentioned before, the Mail and Word and Excel and everything. It got so bad that I had to keep disabling SLI on my system to actually do any work, and then once I found this little trick, fantastic. So let me know if you've had this problem. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you'd like more of this content. It motivate me to try and get these videos out a bit more frequently. I know it has been a while. And drop a like if you like it. Dislike if you thought I sucked, I suppose. Alright, thanks guys. Have a good night. See ya.